Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Level Up Talk with Wilson. Solomon, you are hopping on again. I appreciate seeing your digital face here on our online stream. However, I am not the only one here. Yeah, that's right. I'm not the only one here. We do, in fact, have a Tom who's live streaming with us. Tom, you want to say hi or something like that?
No, Wilson's just has dementia and thinks he's has someone with him.
It's pretty aggressive, isn't it? Right? Like, I'm just simply here, and like the guy wants a video game. So this is going to be a little bit of a different vibe as far as what our level up talk is going on. I know last week we just kind of did a video game stream, but this is going to be a video game stream while talking about a topic. Ooh, doing things a little different. I know. Shocker. Wilson's shaking things up everywhere. Uh, Solomon automatically throws. Oh my goodness! It's the Canadian Wall Tom, famed equestrian and overall friend of horses.
I have a window that is 5 stories high.
Wow! Don't go. Wow! Wow! Guys,
And
we do love
I will
Tom.
look out it over the horizon.
That would be the wrong way to look if you're trying to look at Solomon. You'd have to look
Oh, I know.
over
I wouldn't be
westward.
trying to look at Solomon. I'd be trying to look away from Solomon.
Mm, fair point. Interesting point. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say to that. Sorry, guys. That's a thing, I guess. Um, so today's talk, if you could tell by the title, it's an interesting idea that we're going to be talking about modern idolatry. What the what does that mean? You may be like, is that even a possibility? Because typically, modern like idolatry, you think of, and I'll use this because I use this as an example on Wednesday night. You think of these like little dudes, and I'm not talking about the superheroes. I'm talking about like little figures that you have around that are enshrined, and you kind of focus on like and all this kind of stuff like that. Halo music playing in the background, except it's not about Halo. It's about these weird little figures. Um, yeah. What if I challenged you on this thought? And I'm talking to you too, Tom. I'm talking to you.
Oh, I know.
And what if
You
I
talked to me
challenge you?
last night about this. What do you mean?
I didn't talk to you last night. I talked to you Wednesday night on this, but
Okay,
this was
Wednesday. Okay.
yeah, can't keep track of the weeks. Um, the thing about is, what if you are making something else an idol? Awkward moment. Challenge us, oh wise and bearded one. Thank you, Solomon. I appreciate that. Um, the
You should
reason
have said wise and bald one.
Tom really wants to have an Elisha moment is really what he wants. He wants two bears to show up out of nowhere and cause some problems. That's what Tom really wants in this case. Um, no, what we're going to be doing, too obvious to target. Absolutely, right? It's too shiny. I just say, it's so shiny. Okay, sorry. Shoot the squirrels. Shoot the squirrels. The way that I want to look at this, and I want us to chew on this, because again, the Bible is like an awesome piece of steak. You gotta chew on it to enjoy it and get all the flavors and richness and stuff like that. I have a scripture dive for us here, and you can follow along here with us on Isaiah chapter 44. Yeah, that's right. Isaiah chapter 44. And we are specifically, not pacifically, specifically, looking from verses 6 to 20. And I'm just going to read through it. And then me and Tom are going to go back and forth here in some like getting some clarity, getting some thoughts, processes, and stuff like that. Cool? You guys good with this? You guys ready for the steak? How you haven't got a steak sponsorship at this point, right? Like I'm trying to put it out there, but no one's going for it. Sad story. Okay, Isaiah chapter 44 verses 6 to 20. This is what the Lord says, Israel's King and Redeemer, the Lord of heaven's armies. I am the first and the last. There is no other God. Who is like me? Let him step forward and prove to you his power. Let him do as I have done since ancient times, when I established a people of explained its future. Do not tremble. Do not be afraid. Did I not proclaim my purpose for you long ago? You are my witnesses. Is there any other God? No. There is no other rock. Not one. How foolish are those who manufacture idols, these prized objects we are really worthless. The people who worship idols don't know this, so they are all put to shame. Who but a fool would make his own god, an idol that cannot help him one bit? All who worship idols will be disgraced, along with all these craftsmen, mere humans who claim they can make a god. They may all stand together, but they will stand in terror and shame. The blacksmith stands at his forge to make a sharp tool, pounding and shaping it with all his might. His work makes him hungry and weak. It makes him thirsty and faint. Then the woodcarver measures a block of wood and draws a pattern on it. He works with chisel and plane and carves it into a human figure. He gives it human beauty and puts it in a little shrine. He cuts down cedars. He selects the cypress and the oak. He plants the pine in the forest to be nourished by the rain. Then he uses part of the wood to make a fire. With it, he warms himself and bakes his bread. Then, yes, it's true, he takes the rest of it and makes himself a god to worship. He makes an idol and bows down in front of it. He burns part of the tree to roast his meat and to keep himself warm. He says, "Ah, that fire feels good." Then he takes what's left and makes his god a carved idol. He falls down in front of it, worshiping and praying to it. "Rescue me," he says. "You are my God." Such stupidity and ignorance. Their eyes are closed and they cannot see. Their minds are shut and they cannot think. The person who made the idol never stops to reflect, why, it's just a block of wood. I burned half of it for heat, and I used it to bake my bread and roast my meat. How can the rest of it be a god? Should I bow down to worship a piece of wood? The poor deluded fool feeds on ashes. He trusts something that cannot or can't help him at all. Yet he cannot bring himself to ask, is this idol that I'm holding in my hand a lie? Food to chew on, guys. Food to chew on. If you are watching the stream and enjoying this, and maybe you watched and read it on here, that's awesome. That's good. That's the stuff. That's a good thing. My recommendation: crack your Bible open and literally just start highlighting, start reading, processing through, bit by bit, stuff like that. So we're gonna get into the game, and as we're gaming, I'm going to be bringing this up so you guys can keep track and be like, Wilson, are you actually talking through this? Wow. Harsh, guys. Getting picked on by Tom here. But are we shocked at all? No. That's just what Tom does.
I won't pick on you for the rest of the day. How about that?
Wow. That's not what we're saying, Tom. We're just saying we're trying to save.
It'll be a challenge for me. Don't pick on you.
Don't pick on me for the rest of the day. I appreciate that. I should probably make sure that the desktop audio, or no, you know what? It's the sound audio for the game. We're going to tune it down a little bit. We're going all. Okay, there we go. But here's the thing, right? Like, we look at that and we just go, like, it's just physical idols. Like, when you read it, when you first heard it, Tom, what was your honest first impressions, thoughts?
This is interesting.
This is interesting. Fair enough. Okay, that's good. What about it was interesting? At least in your... from what you're taking in. Oh, Tom is actually thinking here, guys. Watch out.
That stuff we would realize is an idol in our lives.
Okay. Okay. So you're not at the immediate shock factor of like, yeah, that's pretty dumb to turn like wood and think that it's a god.
It is, but at the same time, there are other things that some people can make idols for their lives without realizing it.
Okay, so that's where we're going. So I'll ask this: what are typically things that you think of that people turn into idols, and how do you define that? Like, how do you bring clarity to
Video
that?
games, sports.
Okay, how so? It's not something you're putting on a shelf. It's not like all of a sudden in the middle of it you're like, "Oh, great and amazing soccer ball! How amazing you are!"
Well, no, more for soccer or football. Um, they worship one player in particularly as like the best
Ooh.
of all time,
Okay.
and like what to follow, what that player does, and everything, keep up to what they're doing,
Right. No, that's fair. That's fair.
and puts them on a higher pedestal than other people.
Okay, so Solomon brought up something. Would my shrine to Celine Dion count as an idol?
Yes, yes,
I would. I
yes.
would legitimately say, Solomon, if you're spending most of your day thinking about Celine Dion, or like
Have a
really,
shrine.
like if everything else in your house was messy, but the shrine to Celine Dion is like almost dust free. You could like do the white glove test, and it's like squeaky clean and all that. Yeah, that might say you've got a bit of a thing going on there. It's a thing. Um, no, that's a fair point, and that's kind of my contention sometimes with what we do with video games, how we take video games and stuff like that. Um, we kind of just work this whole idea of it's a video game, right? Like we can look at it and go, oh, like, is it really that much of an issue? Is it really a thing? And my contention would be, if it's taking up most of your time, yeah, it is. It's a problem.
Amid discord, we will find tranquility.
And same with sports. Like, I know tons of guys who know statistics better than they know their own Bible, or even like care about other stuff. Good luck, fellas. May God lead your bullets to actually hit something. Hey, I'm not a stormtrooper here now. Like, ease up. I gotta help with Tom here though. Actually, Tom doesn't need a whole lot of help. He's pretty awesome. So I'll ask this, Tom. What's your idol? If you have one.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
If we're talking about what I think about most of the time, would have to be when I get to hang out with my friends.
Oh. So that priority of other people can be that focus, right?
Yeah,
Oh, snap. Okay.
yeah.
So then the question is, what are you doing about that?
To be honest, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Still trying to figure that out. At least you're honest. Okay. I can take that. I will say, probably an idol has been a major one, and I know Tom brought this up on Wednesday night, and it was a good call out. He brought up sometimes our families can be that idol, and you'd think typically like, how can a family be an idol? That's a good thing. Well, idols don't have to be these physical things, as we just read in Isaiah. That was more like, that was kind of the engagement of how you actually worshipped a thing as a god. But really, idols are anything that take your attention, take your focus, take your energy, and you dedicate it to it. We had some awesome youth crew that were trying to give clarity to what is worship. In worship, typically, most of us go, oh, well, worship is, you know, music that's being played a certain way, or gets me thinking about God, or even, like, stuff that I sing, that's worship. That's what really it is. That's not really true in its definition. Worship is a work. It's a thing. It's a deliberate choice and really investment of effort and time towards something. Yeah, and making it like the focal point standard for you. So my worship can be, how much time am I spending on Overwatch, or how am I spending my money even. Like, your finances is a form of worship. This is why when you go to services, typically they're collecting funds, not just to cover the church, but in a way you're giving God and saying, I'm trusting in you, I'm relying in this higher power that he's blessed me, or this higher power has blessed me, so I want to pay it back to them. I want to give it to them and sustain them. So even your money, how you use it, is a form of worship. Are you doing it in a way that's honestly saying, God, I see you, I appreciate what you're doing? Or is it more like, well, this is all about me, I don't really care about what else is going on, I just kind of want my thing my way, and that's just simply put. Nice, we are doing well, guys. Apparently, if we talk Bible, that we get better. Just saying. But, like, again, it's your time, it's your effort, it can be your funds, it can be, just as Tom is saying, like, it's your friends. Your invested interest in who you take care of. Like, they can be people that take over your mind. I was confronted with an interesting video from Mark Driscoll, and some of you guys might not vibe with Mark Driscoll as a person, and I'm not here to contend or argue that kind of thing like that. Okay, Solomon's throwing loony kind of vibe, and that, again, that's a different vibe, but he brought up something that honestly I think is a good reflection of what is worship in a modern context. It was a group of, I believe it was a group of people who were Islamic, and they kind of pushed the thought, it was when he was like a kid, North Americans do have idols. And he's like, no, we don't. We don't have any of these, like, statue things. And he goes, no, but you have a giant TV in your living room. You focus all your time on entertainment and doing that kind of stuff like that. So really, your idol is entertainment. It's a thought. And here we are playing a video game. Like, I'm not saying me and Tom are hardcore idol worshipping right now or anything like that. That's not what I'm throwing down. Because... Lies. Tom's like, I know you, Wilson. I know how much you play Overwatch, or how you think about Overwatch. But, like, legitimately, if this became all I focused on, if it was the only thing that I did during my work time, then yeah, that actually becomes an issue. Because then I'm not actually even doing work. I'm saying I can be doing work and stuff like that, right? Because at the root, I could be just wanting to play video games. Solomon, what are your thoughts? What are some things... You threw down your Celine Dion shrine, so to speak. And I think that was more in jest than anything else, but you know, again, if that becomes a major focus for us, that's an issue. What about certain churches where the congregation go to see the preacher more than for God? Can preachers become idols? Dude, 100%. What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
Play of the game.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Okay. Have you ever experienced that?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay. Because that's one thing I will say. Talking more and more with Cafe Anglican, he brought this up that if a church, like if a pastor leaves and there are people that leave that church because that one person leaves, they weren't actually there for the for the actual true idea
God.
of what the church. Yeah, they weren't there for God, because you can still serve the church while the other person is going to a different church, right? Does that make sense? Am I?
You keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yep, that's fine. But if they stay around and they are honestly serving within the community, because again, it's not just all about like what's growing in me and like am I getting fed, but it's also about how am I investing in my community around it. If I leave because a pastor leaves, I kind of made that pastor a little bit more like kind of like my main reason for going to church. That's not what church is about. So I'm technically doing a little bit of idol worship that way, right? That's why, like, sometimes if we, like, prescribe to a certain teacher or a certain thing and we just, like, kind of get this tunnel vision of only what they talk about, that's all I want to know, that can be dangerous, right? Like, there needs to be things that I'm looking and learning and growing from that are people who are also diving into scripture. We look and evaluate, are they actually diving into the word? Are they diving into scripture deep enough, like well enough that I am growing from them? And it may rub me a little weird, right? But that's like what Proverbs says, iron sharpens iron, right? That's the growth. That's the kind of thing. And I think partially you guys are getting a lot of my 2 cents worth, so I'm sorry about that, but also you're stuck with me, so it's how it is. You're still here, so I'm assuming you're interested. I really think the reason why we pull toward these idols in some ways, like video gaming, like TV, like some of our family, it says something in us, or it feels like it's active in the way that I want to be active. It's engaging in the way that I want to be engaged with. Versus if we have to meet with the all living God, and I appreciate what the verse was talking. It starts talking at the amazing glory that is God, right? How he's freed these people, how he loves these people, how he's truly all powerful. He is the rock, the one, right? And the title that starts off really is that he is the Lord of hosts. He's the God above gods. He, like, there's no other kind of thing like that. Later in the New Testament, we read this last week in our nerdy Bible study, that really, when Paul uses the word demon, Greek is demos. Demos in Greek means lesser god. Like it's like a step down. It's not even full god. It's like it's like demigod. He's saying that all these idols, these things that were attributed, which like to the Corinthian church, like they were still doing some worshiping of these things, of these idols, and or eating meat and stuff like that, and they were afraid of the connection. And Paul's saying that the idols themselves really have no power. It's the demons associated with it. That's why in Isaiah 44, Isaiah, from God's words, are like, why the heck do you make idols? Why do you make these things out of things?
Make idols.
Well, but like, think about it logically. What's the point in taking a thing you physically made? It'd be like me taking a 3D printer, making something that I think is really cool, and then going to it and be like, hey man, I need your help. I've got car expenses. Help me cover my car expenses. Or, oh shoot, I lost my
Because
job.
people could think that what they build is an image of a god they think exists,
Oh,
but isn't really alive.
Ooh, Tom, you said a magic word. An image of a god. Okay. Scriptural knowledge bomb. You ready for this, peeps? By the way, I'm going to read Solomon's thing before I get into this. I mean, if you go to church and most of your thoughts are towards the preacher of that church and not God, if you go home and that preacher occupies your thoughts and not God or the service, then you are going to see an idol, not God. Oh! Solomon, my man. Yes. 100%. You got it right there. If you focus and think, man, like, and you can do this with all kinds of big preachers. I used to, like, Craig Rochelle, he throws down some good knowledge. Don't get me wrong. That guy. But if my mind goes, oh, man, I better only listen to Craig Rochelle. Or same thing when, what are you taking us to? You creating a game? I'm scared. Tom's creating a game, I guess. When I looked at the Bible Project, that can be the only sound thing that I take in. No, I gotta take in various things and learn and grow from it. But I can't prescribe that they are the only people that only know God and that's simply it. That's not right. That's not the way we do things. Oh, shoot. Are we out-widowing each other? Is that what you're doing?
Well, continue to talk.
Well, I can't shoot, apparently.
I aim to devastate.
I don't know why I can't shoot. Oh, is it only snipe shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah, it's only snipe.
dirty punk. He's making me work for this. Oh, thank goodness.
Another game.
If anyone wants to see the danger of a preacher becoming an idol, there's a great Korean documentary called In the Name of God, A Holy Betrayal on Netflix. Oh! If I had Netflix, I would totally check that out. Thanks, thanks, Solomon, for that resource.
Oh, yeah. No
Oh,
problem.
yeah. Tom will take the credit, apparently, on that. I'm sorry, Solomon.
Hey, you were the one who said Tom.
I didn't mean to.
I was on you, Wilson.
But no, like, in all honesty, that can be a thing. And it takes something that is good, which is a preacher who's presenting the word and stuff like that, but then they become the main focus.
The preacher doesn't even try to become an idol. They're just the
It's just
people
them
around.
sharing. Yeah.
It's just people around. When he's not trying, but just the people around make him.
Well, and so this is where I'd say there are some guys that honestly are not trying to do that, and you need to work that out. That's to that individual really need to work that out. But there are some preachers that really lean in on that kind of idea and abuse that opportunity that they have with people who are honestly good, willing people to serve and love God. And so then they make it, well, if you don't listen to me, you're the one who's going to hell. It's not me.
Yeah.
Like, I hate saying or throwing hard names at things, but Kenneth Copeland is a big one. Like, he's all about himself, is really the sad part. He's misused that authority that should be for the sake of helping people, and said, you know what, like, we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna get my way and deal with it that way.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with this May too. Schnickerdoodle. That's rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change. Okay.
But yeah, no, Solomon. Prosperity preachers, 100%. They make even money the god, right? They make, how am I going to get money through God? How am I going to use God to get money? It's not even the focus of God anymore. It's just, well, what is what is God's magic words that's going to all of a sudden make me rich? That's not at all what Jesus was saying, right? He was saying, just as the Son of Man has nowhere to lay down his head, right? Like, it's not unusual here, guys. Oh, jeepers. But yeah. So my question is for you guys, for me and Tom to always be working on, how do we sacrifice that idol? Because what we see time and time again biblically is that when we tear down the idols, we are also making a statement against a spiritual enemy. And I don't say that lightly. I really believe that there are spiritual beings, these presences that are literally trying to destroy our relationship, our connection with God. But if we don't address them, if we don't work on it, they'll just take over our life. They'll just wreck us. I mean, Joel Osteen is a prosperity preacher, refused to open his church doors during a hurricane. Right. Well, and during a hurricane, I can't speak against that. Like, I want to be safe. I would want to be safe for congregants' sake as well. But if it's honestly, if they aren't able to help the people around, they are not really serving in a way that I think is right or should be done, is really what it is. That's where I'd stand on that. But I think part of it is honestly ratifying, where's your focus with God? And I'm not saying your relationship with God has to be absolutely perfect all the time, kind of vibes, stuff like that. But you should be going toward a direction of growth. You should be going toward a direction of honestly asking those questions. God, how can I grow? What can I be doing? And not that, like, doing is going to get you closer to God, but not doing anything is also not going to be having you grow in your relationship with God either. I can't say I'm growing in my relationship with my wife if I don't even talk to her, right? Like, you have to be willing and able to do something about it. That's just simply put. Because if you're willing to invest in stuff like these idols, then you should easily be willing to put an effort and invest in your relationship with God. And this Brigida is really becoming annoying.
Don't worry, I understand. I was like, what are you shooting at?
No, the Brigida is just like sitting there trying to knock people.
Don't worry, I saw it.
Do we lose point here? What's going on?
I have a list here. I don't know why we have a widow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna lose it right here. Yeah. That's rough. Could the Bible itself become an idol? That's a good question. If you are... Thanks. Appreciate that, Solomon. Yeah, Thomas! Getting the play of the game. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what I did.
You made people cry. That's what you did.
It was just two.
I really think, yeah, you can make the Bible an idol. And I think that's more in the case of, like, if you just only are reading the Bible for the sake of, oh, look, I've read the Bible. Oh, look, I know so much Bible, like, knowledge and trivia. Like, if you become, like, the trivia guy that pops up and goes, psh, like, look at what I know. Look how much I know. Like, I'm pretty awesome. Then you've just made the Bible really a badge. And a tool to reflect the other idol, which is your pride. That's where it's really at, too. Tom, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't really know.
You don't know?
No, not really.
You don't know if you could make the Bible an idol?
I guess I could.
I'll ask, what do you think the Pharisees did with the Torah?
Oh, made the idol
How?
by just caring about that the most and only worrying about if they followed it.
Right, if they followed it. It wasn't about the
Yeah.
connection that people were to have with God. It was what they did to show that,
The laws.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
they followed the laws.
like, how specifically in the very smallest thing doing that. Now, Jesus always tested the heart. He would always ask questions on, like, how does your heart get reflected in that? By the way, I love Tyrael on here. He looks boss.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But
Round 1. Capture.
that's why Jesus always asked the heart. Jesus always pushed it and was like, what do you really believe? What do you really think? What would you actually do? He presented the Torah. He presented what was going on. But his main thing was, guys, like, what do you actually believe? Done. But good question, Solomon. Like, legit. I appreciate that question. The potential insight that it can occur is that we can do this holier than thou kind of vibe. This whole, well, look at me and my knowledge of God, and I can treat the Bible as my own amazingness. But again, if it's not reflecting God, it's an idol. If it's for self-promotion, it's an idol. Because it's encouraging the idol that would be you. You know what? Maybe it's less treating the Bible as an idol and more teaching a specific Bible translation as an idol. That's another thing, right? You're arguing for the sake of this is the be-all, end-all, and it can be that point of what are you doing with that Bible translation? Why is that translation so important? Now, there are There are some backings of like it helps with the reading of scripture for it, and that's a different kind of argument, I think, in itself, because you're doing more the case of like, how is this actually giving validity to true reading of the scripture, what we need to be taking in as lessons, and process that. But yeah, in a way, translations can be a factor in that point.
Listen, pulling them off.
Some great Canadian gameplay by Canadian. I appreciate that, you know. We're just pushing. I like to play Orisa, and apparently talking about the Bible gets the Orisa fed with goodness.
Have you gotten bigger, Orisa?
But no.
My dimensions have not changed.
Do you have anything to say, comment, process there, Tom,
But I still think you're
Nope.
just as cute
on
as
what we're
before.
throwing down?
Oh,
Nope.
that is.
I agree with everything, so no.
I think we do have potential idols in the church. I really think
Oh, yeah.
sometimes even our budgets become our idols too. That it's like, oh well, we gotta make a ton of money, and we gotta have the biggest sanctuary, or like all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, I don't read that in my Bible that I need an amazing sanctuary. What I read is that God meets in the midst of all that's going on in life, and we need to sit on that a little bit more than what I think we actually do. Oh. Ah, I didn't have a healer with me. That was my problem. Cough, the Pope, cough, Mega Idol. And I'm not... I think it's good to have leadership. So I think the Pope is a good thing, supposed to be guiding the church in a larger mindset. But the problem is, yes, if we start treating that leadership as the be-all, end-all, like, you can't argue because the Pope is like the only voice of God, I think we've got a major problem. Especially if the leadership doesn't reflect an actual following of God. That's a whole other problem in itself. Because, yeah, come at me Catholics, I'll argue theology with you anytime. Well, and I think we should be able to have talks of theology either way. Doesn't matter what the denomination is, right? We need to be able to have talks as brothers and sisters in Christ. Because really, there are some really awesome Catholics that sit on Scripture, take it so well, and really sit on it thoroughly. But again, if we don't do anything with the very stuff that we talk about, then we got a problem. If it's all just to be like, look at how amazing I know my Bible and that kind of stuff, we've got an issue. No amount of discussion will be able to help create growth. Yeah, that's where I stand on that. I think we all have things that we really need to work on. We need to give up to God. And that's really the big thing. If you can't give it up, you're making that into an idol. What about Mormons? How does one challenge the Forrest Gump of denominations? Really, at the core of what I see Mormonism is, it's the idolatry of the self, because the idea that you become God of like your own planet, and like that's the whole height of what you get out of Mormonism, is the idea that you get to do that. That's kind of messed up.
Sie werden dich nicht kriegen.
That's where I stand on that. And that would be because I've kind of done a study on Mormonism and understanding what it's about. And from what I see, that's their goal. Oh goodness, a planet full of Mormon. No, it's not a planet. It's each Mormon, if they are truly following the example of God and being like Jesus, and or like the Elohim principle, that they become gods, and then they are gods of their own planets. So like each Mormon would have their own planet that they become God and essentially be like Jesus on that. That's the principle of it. No, that's not what you're supposed to be. That's not the goal of the Bible. The goal of the Bible, what we see and what Jesus communicates several times over and over again, we get to be reunited with God, because we're the image bearers of Christ. That's the thing that I got excited with when Tom threw down. Tom's gone quiet, so he must be really thinking and stuff like that. Yeah, he's really thinking. But Tom said it. It's an image. Guys, when God made us, we became the image bearers of God. So the very idea that we worship other things like video games that's digital that we made, or if we start worshiping like these Funko Pops or anything like that, that's stuff that we made. That would be like God worshiping us. That just, like, does that make sense? You following me with that, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Would it make sense for God to worship us?
No.
Why not?
Because he created us. We didn't create him.
Right. So, a person who can make things shouldn't worship the things that they make.
Yeah.
Is really what it comes down to. It just doesn't make any sense. And that's why I brought up the Isaiah 44 passage. That part of just like, it doesn't make sense. It's just weird. But then the other part is, well, why don't we worship like these spiritual beings? They're not the supreme power being. It would be like, why would you worship something so small and low level? It's like worshiping, it's thinking a level 1 player is amazing compared to like the maxed out level out player. Right? It just doesn't make sense. You don't think a level 1 player is amazing. You think the maxed out, all powerful, all being that has supreme authority over that kind of stuff like that. Solomon, you're throwing down a lot. Oh, I know. I'm just remembering what Mormons are actually real. Yeah, there's stuff in there. I'm like, I don't get it either. All this idol talk makes me want to watch American Gods. Actually, I think American Gods has a very pointed idea of what on earth worship is. Considering the new gods that are in is world, so like economy. Then it's like social media is another thing, or just even TV media is one as well. I'm scared. This is a widow fight, and I'm scared. Oh, thank goodness! Thank you.
You're lucky I can set that up earlier.
Thank you.
We're
Got
doing it
saved.
next time, though.
No.
Oh, you won't be saved for long.
I know I won't be saved for long. But like, no, I like American Gods for that reason. It really actually challenges this idea of what is actual worship. What have we chosen as a society? Because it's really the old gods versus what's now modern idol worship. And I think Neil Gaiman really brought that into a beautiful light on how that's contending. But the problem is he's also using old gods. He's making it that the old gods have a distinct connection. And I would argue the old gods, or these demons connected to the idols, they're still around. They've upgraded on how it looks. This whole vanity, this whole idea of like what we consider is important. Like, think about it. We've had sexuality increase so much within culture. It's like absolutely nuts. Sex is a god. And Paul even addresses that. Like, he throws it down that sex is a god, and we just kind of treat it as like whatever kind of vibe.
Objective captured. She's gonna blow. By your side.
But that's what I think. And that's the way I would observe it as a Christian, as a person who's watched a bit of American Gods. I'm not saying it's for everybody to watch. It really is intense a couple of times, but like I think it adds so much insight to today, to how on earth does the worship of Odin, because there are guys that do that emphasize worship on Odin even today. That's rising up. And I still think
I ain't a quitter.
entities like Thor, there's got to be some reasons and connections to it. I think there are spiritual beings that go about that way. And some of you may jump and think, Wilson, you're crazy, you're a heretic, whatever. I honestly would contend, why would these people who are of sound mind as well think on that level too? Why would they worship these things if there wasn't something connected in truth? And maybe it's the spirit of what's in it,
Come over if you want to cut.
but I think there is something. You focus on something enough, it becomes your god. You don't have to make a little statue or thing like that to make it just this idol. Like, you can make it an idol by thinking, dwelling, worshiping, focusing on it. That's what I'd contend. So in that way, your family can be an idol. There's a reason why Jesus says, if you are not willing to give up family, like wife, children, brother, sister, friends, for the sake of me, you are not really my disciple. That's a hard call out. Ah, this Malga, he does not like me.
Do something.
There we go. Now we move on. I know it's a very obvious one, but money. That's true. Money. If you think and focus on it, and even if it's in a way of like, I need this for survival, that's all you can do. Like, there's a reason why Jesus says you can't have two masters. You either follow him or you have a focus on even your money. Stuff like that. And really, money is the choice of, do I have control? Do I do I have what I need is really the prayer that goes into that. And you've heard me say that time and time again. Tom has heard me say that time and time again. Poor Tom has to deal with so much of what I say. Holy snap. I'm trying to take out this Malga by myself and it does not work.
Try and stop me.
This town just ain't big
Our
enough.
healers don't heal.
No. Meanwhile,
Because
the
then
hard DPS are pushing. Like I'm
Zen does not heal.
I'm not going lightweight on my. Oh, and then I got sniped.
Yeah, I figured this one was good.
And then I got sniped again.
Yeah, this Widow is really good.
Well, at first she was missing her shots, and I thought, oh, okay, we can mess around with this. Nope, she's found her rhythm.
Helden sterben nicht.
No, this Widow's really good.
N'échappe à mon regard. Atlas sniper ahead.
Ah. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
That Sombra. That Sombra Widow combo is not fun.
Someone's gonna pay.
Well, please tell me that they're not just stopping. Healers, like, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna come around. I'm just gonna be annoying.
Something to kill here. Team to me. Over here.
Like, holy crap.
Over there. Hey, catch. Enemy here.
Ah, that sniper. She got me. Oh, that was actually a good clean snipe too.
A quitter.
Shoot. I think that's our discussion.
Heroes never die.
Really. That's where I kind of sit. But again, what's going to be your, like, what is your idol? What's the thing? Because if you're not dealing with your idol, you got a problem.
Do something.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to move this load.
Enemy here.
And it hasn't been by any lack of effort.
And cut him down. Stop mucking around and move. Push the payload. She's gonna blow.
Hokey, Dinah.
10 seconds remaining.
She's gonna blow. I know one thing. Someone's gonna pay.
Yeah, I can't get to it. Hot dog. Great topic today. Good sir. Really thought-provoking. Well, in that, like, again, we're gaming, we're doing this kind of chat, but, like, this is a different style to it. And I want to encourage you guys to honestly think, what is that idol? What is that thing that you are putting in if you are honestly doing that? But if you are honestly looking to grow in your faith with God, how do you prioritize that? How do you make that the thing that you go into?
Legendary.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Solomon. I want you to grow and develop on that. Like, that's the same thing for me. That's the same thing I ask my kids to do. Tom knows I'm not a lightweight when it comes to having these kind of talks with my kids. Huh?
I said, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Tom knows I also do this to him as well. He's my spiritual kid, as Paul would say it. So, you know. Shani?
I told you you're not getting out of this, Wilson.
Now arriving at the prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Well, I can't really choose anyone else, can I?
Yeah, because I took away everyone else and just made
Really?
it
Couldn't tell. With the pain.
Said, you're not getting out of this.
Guys, I'm gonna cry right now. I need to get it. Oh my goodness.
Fight.
I'm gonna die, guys. It's nice knowing you. I at least get to trash the statue area. It's sad but true. I'm scared.
Why are you, Wilson?
You don't need to know. You don't need to know
you by your
anything.
spawn still?
No.
I can hear it. What are you doing? Wilson!
I'm terrified of you, Tom.
How did you... What?
I'm doing Medusa, thank you. We are in Eloise or Eloise, I think it is. Something like that. Solomon, I appreciate you laughing at me.
Fight.
I'm terrified.
You have to remember, I'm on my laptop, so I'm not that good.
Excuse me, you're better than I am on anything.
Alright. Are you near the middle area?
Oh.
I thought I just saw you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wilson,
I'm so scared.
where are you?
You guys hear it, right? You
Are
guys
you
on
below
the
me?
stream, I'm so scared.
Where are you, Wilson? Wilson.
Dance partner. 30 seconds remaining.
What? From where?
No!
Oh, you.
Capture the objective.
Ah! This is like the Wookiee hunt all over again. Except with snipers. Had to pick the snipers. You had to. I really do like this Medusa skin, though.
You're lucky I like you.
I can breathe again. It's so nice to be able
give
to.
you enough punishment.
That's psychological torture. All that matters is you tried, Wilson. Yes, I'm my one proud moment in all of this was that I found a spot that Tom was like, "Where are you?"
No, seriously, where were you? Were you above me?
Oh, yeah, I was.
Okay, I figured. I was like, either you're above me or below me.
So
'cause
I was
can
in.
hear you moving.
Yeah, I was in a spot where I could look down into the main pit area, but then I saw you.
Oh,
I
I
saw
know.
stuff going on in the ledge. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I thought I'd just like sit and wait till you just got into that right zone, and potentially get you. But I suck at sniping, and yet I like playing Ash. But like Ash is rough sniping, so you know,
True.
it's true. Hence why I can deal with, Ash. To be fair, Wilson can't hide that well. His bald head reflects. But yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. This is why I don't do hide and seek. I don't do it. That, and I'm a rather large built person, so hide and seek does not really work too well. At all. Awkward. Oh, Murphy.
Murphy?
Murphy.
Oh, I'm tagged.
Ooh. We're doing defend?
Yeah.
Do I want to be aggro or do I want to just heal? Oh, they took my mercy. Never mind. I guess I'm going aggro. Just so that you guys can actually hear some of this. Because I don't think you guys are hearing what's going on in the game as much. Probably. Actually, we'll do it again.
I
Come on,
smell
Wilson.
blood in the air.
Oh, I thought I had already selected something. Oh, yeah.
You did, but you need to get moving. We have 13 seconds.
We're the ones that run in things and stuff. That skin is so great. I know, right?
5,
I love Cthulhu style Zenyatta.
1. Attackers incoming.
I will say this, I do eventually want to get the white Cthulhu Zen because I can. Thomas, you were not allowed to die.
Yeah, this was the worst choice for you here, Arissa. Hi, Mercy.
Pop up. Oh, watch out behind you guys.
Who's behind
Watch
you?
out. There's somebody. It's
Dead
not fun.
soldier? Yeah. Oh, okay. Listen, they chose Zarya as well, so when you see they have a bubble, don't shoot them.
Yep.
Why the look of gloom? Chaos haunts your path.
I got you, Tom.
Come on, get up.
Evil can't hide from my sight.
Fire at will. I can crush the enemies.
Experience nothingness.
I can't bring them back yet. Let us stop the payload together. I'm here to support.
Ah, someone get that soldier off our backs.
Helden sterben nicht. Come on.
Oh my goodness. Come on, team.
Pain is an excellent teacher.
Execute them all.
I am effervescent.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I don't know why I sang that way.
Defeat cannot
Sorry that you had to
break
deal
one
with
who
it.
perseveres.
It's fine.
Hooray!
I'm not paying attention. Don't mind me.
I'm not. I don't do this thing called paying attention. That costs too much. No, we're not pulling the dad jokes. We're not laughing on it.
You must accept the pain.
She's gonna blow.
I've got you in my sights.
Oh shoot! Yep, that was a lot of deathness.
I've got you in my sights.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I'm already 48% in. Do I really want to keep going with Zen right now? What are your thoughts, Solomon? You've seen enough gameplay of me. Do you think I should be swapping? Personally, I'd like to see this Widow get a little bit more aggro, but she's not.
Darkness envelops all.
Evil can't hide from my sight.
Oh man, where's this Widow? Where's this Widow who's supposed to have my back? Goodness. Good
Cycle
grief.
begins anew.
Yeah, I'm open to suggestions there, Solomon. Just saying.
They're moving the payload.
Embrace
Stop them.
oblivion.
Do not provoke me.
It takes two.
Oh, hello, hello.
They can't hurt you.
Thank you.
I am restored.
I like not dying. I'm just saying. It's a very nice feeling not to be dead. To your best. As Coach says, do your best.
Heroes never die. Огонь
Come on,
готовности.
keep coming.
Fire at will. Du sterben nicht.
And now you have found peace.
Easy.
Easy.
Damn it.
If only I
Yeah,
could
you.
Easy.
Merci.
That's right. There we go.
Team kill.
See, that's the way. Ooh, have you been getting some sleep, Tom? Ooh, good question, Solomon.
Evil can't
I went to
hide
bed
from
at 10
my
last
sight.
night.
Yo,
Fire.
you actually had sleep.
Feeling more powerful?
My spirit is strong.
Really?
The enemy outnumbers us.
Helping you out.
Experience nothingness.
Okay.
And on my
I'm
way.
trying to send things.
How's it going? We have to blow the payload.
At least I was still somewhat healing you.
So I still need time.
Well, I died, so, you know, there's no way I could heal you.
How dare you?
Next time I'll try not to die. Good to hear. Remember, sleep is important. Absolutely, Solomon.
Nah, sometimes.
Tom hasn't learned the lesson of no. Oh, they're gonna be at the door, and now I'm gonna. Oh, hello! That's a soldier. Hi, thank you.
Payload has reached the checkpoint.
Okay, I'm swapping.
Repetition
Kiriko
is
time.
the path
I'll find
to
my own
mastery.
path.
I'm gonna go aggressive
Stay out of
sniping.
my way.
She's gonna blow. Soothing your wound. Payload's on the move. Let's stop it. Bob, do something.
Evil can't hide from my sight.
I've got you in my sights.
Oh, crap.
On here!
Pop out.
The payload from moving!
Heroes never die. Helden sterben nicht.
狐の鍵爪を解き放て Uh-oh, the payload's moving!
Let's get him. Eine Pflicht ist nicht getan.
They brought one back.
Огонь по готовности.
Fire at will!
60 seconds.
Protect.
Огонь по готовности.
Okie Dinah.
I am on fire.
Payload's
I
on the
need
move.
help. Let's stop it.
Holy crap.
Right? You know?
Get in there, bomb!
Like, I think we just lose because our team doesn't know how to play.
Evil can't hide from my sight.
30 seconds remaining.
Do not provoke me. Doucement.
木漏れ日のごとく
10 seconds remaining.
Keep them back!
Hey, there's one. My ultimate is almost ready.
Pitiful. Be healed! Let the kitsune guide you!
Heroes never die. Helden sterben nicht.
Bob! Stop the payload from moving! I'm on fire!
Oh, come on. Remember, you have caught. Oh man, Solomon. Ah, are you serious?
Defeat.
Yep.
So tight. That was nuts.
Play of the game.
Yep.
Man, that chaos person is actually pretty nuts. I mean, this whole time I hadn't endorsed Tom? What's wrong with me? I hadn't endorsed Tom. Is that right? Am I doing something wrong?
Probably Wilson.
I know, right? Incredibly rude.
Alright, well, I think I'm actually going to end here.
Oh, you're gonna end here? You're not gonna go for one more? It's 119.
Yeah, no. I'm
Okay.
tired.
Oh, he's tired, guys. He's tired. He needs sleep.
Shut up. No, I don't need sleep. I'm just tired of gaming.
No,
on
that's
my
fair.
laptop.
That's fair. Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, here, I'm just gonna exit out the game. But, guys, thanks for joining in on the stream. Thank you, Tom, for joining in on the stream.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
got
Solomon's already saying, may your dreams be blissful. And
I'm not going to sleep.
he's not going to sleep, guys. So stop thinking he's going to sleep.
I'm going to relax and watch Critical Role.
Oh, that's fair. Critical Role's good.
I'm like, I think I'm like 7 episodes away from being done season 2.
Season 2. So, like, you're talking about the Mighty Nine.
99.
The Mighty Nine. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Again, thanks for joining in the chat. Thanks for hearing me and Tom kind of process what is modern idolatry. How can you be aware of it? What are you doing about it? What are the things that are occupying your space, your time, your heart? Because really, that's what worship is as well. It's not like kind of stuff like that. It's legitimately things can occupy your time and your space? Are you giving it to God? Are you honoring God in everything that you do and honestly giving it to Him, focusing on Him? That's the main thing. And then Tom says, but. Well, that's a unique way to end the stream, especially farting on the graphic word logo. Don't know what to say about that, Tom. Really don't.
Legendary.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Not that that's what I was looking for, but I appreciate it. Anywho, guys, have an awesome rest of your day. Promise this is the last time I'm streaming today. I'll see you next week on Monday when we hit up Nerds in the Word, where we read John 12. John 12! That's right. We're excited. You gonna be there, Tom?
This is.
Oh.
How should I?
You can
Should I
do
be
that.
there?
You can join in on here on Twitch and watch and type, and you could also be on the live stream chat with me, adding insights and thoughts as we read through John 12 and chew on the awesome biblical steak.
You know what? Depends how I feel. So maybe.
Okay. Well, it's an open invitation, not just to Tom, but for you guys who are watching on the stream. If you feel so adventurous to join in, as often Solomon does, we just chew on the word, and it's just working through it and enjoying this time together. So, again, have an awesome time. Don't pick your nose. It's not the best thing. Don't pick your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Adios.